Hey guys, so today I have a really exciting video for you. I have swatches of the China Glaze 2015 summer collection. This collection is called Electric Nights. I know a lot of people ask where I get these collections so early. I'm kind of still crossing my fingers for working with China Glaze in the future, but for now I get them from an Instagram account called Nail Polish Addict Sale. I will link her Instagram down below. You just PayPal her the money and she ships them out. I know it sounds kind of sketchy because it is an Instagram account, but I've been working with her for over a year now. I actually got the China Glaze Sea Goddess collection from her the first time, and I have had no issues. She ships really fast, no problems at all. So yeah, I'll link that below if you guys are interested in these. But there are 12 polishes in this collection, so I will get into the swatches. The first polish is called Daisy Know My Name, and this is a neon-ish yellow cream. So here is one coat of Daisy Know My Name. I have done my picture swatches of this entire collection already. This polish is one of two that I think could benefit from a white base. The other one doesn't necessarily need it. This one, however, on its own, I was at 3 coats and still had some patches, so I'm going to just skip that altogether and show it over the white. This applies very smoothly. It is a nice actual cream polish. So there is one coat of Daisy Know My Name over white. This polish covers perfectly on one coat over white. The color is completely even. It's not streaky at all. I'm going to come back for a second coat though after this dries, just because it does deepen the color a little bit. So here is 2 coats of Daisy Know My Name. So you can see on 2 coats that this kind of gets closer to a sunshine yellow. I mean, it's still like pretty neon, but it's not that neon glow stick kind of yellow. But if you want that, you can just put 1 coat over white, because 1 coat is really even with the color, so you can get away with that too. So there is 2 coats of Daisy Know My Name over white. Like I said, this was more than 3 coats. I only did 3 and I still had patches when it was on its own. So I do suggest putting this one over white. So the next polish is called Home Sweet House Music, and this is a neon orange cream. There's this polish and another orange neon that my camera is just going to freak out on, so I apologize for this ahead of time. Hopefully you'll be able to see the color truer in the picture. So for this one I have some bare nails and some nails with OPI's Alpine Snow on it. This is the other one that I think can benefit from a white base, but it's not necessary. So here is 1 coat of Home Sweet House Music. And here it is over white. So all of the cream polishes in this collection are pretty much the same formula. They will run and you get a ton on the brush. So you do have to be careful to make sure that you're wiping the excess off back into the bottle to avoid it pooling or running down the sides of your nail. So there is a 1 coat of Home Sweet House Music on its own and over white. I'm going to let those dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Home Sweet House Music. Again, it's really important to do thin coats here and to be conscious of the extra polish running down the stem and wipe it off into the bottle. And here's 2 coats over white. The formula on all of these creams is absolutely amazing. I haven't been this impressed with the formulas on a China Glaze collection in a very long time. So there is 2 coats of Home Sweet House Music, both over white and on its own. You can see that it's a lot brighter over the white, although it might be freaking my camera out just enough to not show that. There are still some streaks on its own. The streaks are very minimal, but they are there. So I'm going to do a 3rd coat on those 2 fingers, but I'm going to do it off camera. So there is Home Sweet House Music over white and on its own. I've got 3 coats on its own on my pointer and ring fingers. It is definitely closer to the color in the bottle when it's on its own, but it does take 3 coats to cover completely. Over the white, it actually comes off to be more of like a, I don't know, it's like a hotter orange color than it looks in the bottle. They look exactly the same to me on camera right now, but you can tell the difference in person. My picture that I'm going to show you is over white. So it is a bit of a hotter orange over white, but again, because the color applies so evenly, you can do 1 coat over white and get a different kind of orange than if you do 2 coats, just like with the yellow. The next polish is called Glow with the Flow, and this is a Barbie pink cream. So here is one coat of Glow with the Flow. Again, you do tend to get a ton of polish on your brush, so you do end up having to wipe it off a lot as the polish starts to run down the stem. The formulas in these are a little bit tricky if you're not careful to do very thin coats. So there is one coat of Glow with the Flow. It is a little bit streaky. It's freaking my camera out, so it is hard to tell, but I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Glow with the Flow. This one covered pretty well on 2 coats. I can see a couple dark spots where my nail underneath is showing through. I don't know how well those are going to show on camera, but this is going to need a 3rd coat. So there is 2 coats of Glow with the Flow. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of Glow with the Flow. I apologize if the lighting is changing on like every single clip. I'm trying to adjust it because these polishes are so bright. This one covers completely on 3 coats. So there is 3 coats of Glow with the Flow. This is one that might benefit from a white base, but I think it's right on the fence. The next polish is called Ready to Rave, and this is an insane, like neon coral color. It's like a neon orange leaning coral. So here is one coat of Ready to Rave. So this one covers really well on 1 coat. It is going to need a 2nd, but it's amazing that a color this bright can cover this well and have such a smooth formula. Like I said, you get a lot on the brush, so it can be slightly runny if your coats are too thick, but it's still so smooth. So there is 1 coat of Ready to Rave. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Ready to Rave. So this one covers completely on 2 coats. Again, you do need thin coats and to wipe the brush off a lot so you don't end up with too much polish. I am particularly impressed with this polish because it is so bright, and I really would consider it an actual neon, but it's a cream. It doesn't need a white base. It doesn't even dry fully matte. It's just perfect. And I don't even like oranges, so that's saying something. So there is 2 coats of Ready to Rave. The next polish is Treble Maker, and this is, I don't know, it's kind of a minty, like green blue, way more on the green side. It's just a very unique color. It's almost like the color of a Shamrock Shake. How about that? Green cream. So here is 1 coat of Treble Maker. This one has the same amazing cream formula that the other ones have. There's a bit of a trick to it. And that, like I've said for every single one of them, it's just wiping the brush off, making sure you don't have too much. But it is seriously just amazing, amazing creams. So there is 1 coat of Treble Maker. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Treble Maker. So this one covers completely on 2 coats. Again, amazing formula. I'm a sucker for blues and greens, so I'm really, really liking this color. So there is 2 coats of Treble Maker. The next polish is a light blue cream called UV Meant to Be. So here is 1 coat of UV Meant to Be. So this has the same feeling, amazing cream formula, a little bit runny as the other creams in the collection. Covers really well on 1 coat, but it is going to need a 2nd. One thing I like to do with these to try to make sure that I don't get a ton of polish on my brush is when I dip into the bottle, I wipe off one side and then I hold it over the opening and I let 1 or 2 beads of polish drip off the end of the brush back into the bottle. Then I apply it on my nail. After that, I still have to wipe some polish off and spread what's on there around, but it does make it a lot easier. So there is 1 coat of UV Meant to Be. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of UV Meant to Be. So this one covers completely on 2 coats. Again, amazing formulas on these, and they are so bright to be able to come out so well in 2 coats. So there is 2 coats of UV Meant to Be. The next polish is a very vibrant, almost red-toned purple. If red-toned purple exists, that's what I'm calling this. This is called Violet Vibes. So here is 1 coat of Violet Vibes. This one covers really well on 1 coat. It is going to need 2, but just barely. The formula feels the same as the other creams in the collection, only maybe slightly thinner. So there is 1 coat of Violet Vibes. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Violet Vibes. So you can see that this one is completely opaque on 2 coats, and that 2 coats deepens the color quite a bit. Again, this one might be a tiny bit thinner, but for the most part the creams all really have the same formula. So there is 2 coats of Violet Vibes. So the next polish is also a purple. This is more of a cooler, kind of grapey purple. Here is next to Violet Vibes. You can see there's an obvious difference there. This one is called Plur-ple. So here is 1 coat of Plur-ple. So you can see this one covers really well on 1 coat as well, but it is going to need a second. Just barely though. Really just to get the color deeper. Even the creams here that aren't opaque on 1 or even 2 coats still apply really, really evenly. I don't know if you can see this on my middle finger, but can you see where the color is lighter on the top and darker at the edges? That's what I mean when I say that the formula is a little bit thin and that it will run to the edges. It's run down here. I broke this nail, don't mind it. It's run down here and thickened up. So it's thicker and more opaque at the corners, and it's run off the top of my nail. So that's what I mean when I say to do very thin coats to avoid that. But that is 1 coat of Plur-ple. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of Plur-ple. So this one covers completely on 2 coats. And 2 coats does deepen the color quite a bit as well. Again, a great formula. I am beyond impressed with this collection. So there is 2 coats of Plur-ple. The next polish is called DJ Blew My Mind, and this is kind of an electric blue cream. Here it is next to UV Meant to Be, so you can see the difference. Here is 1 coat of DJ Blew My Mind. This one covers pretty well on 1 coat. It is going to need 2 though. It has the same awesome cream formula as the others. Now the reason I did this one last, I still have some glitters, but it's the last for the creams, is because it does stain. I had it on just long enough to do a swatch picture earlier today, and when I took it off I had a blue ring starting to form around the edges of my nails. So this one will stain, so you're going to be really careful to make sure you use a base coat, maybe even 2 coats of a base coat. So there is 1 coat of DJ Blew My Mind. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a second coat. So here is 2 coats of DJ Blew My Mind. So this one covers completely on 2 coats. Same amazing formula. Can be a little bit runny if you're not careful. But like I said, this one does stain, and it probably stains pretty badly because when I take my swatch pictures, I don't have the polish on for very long, and I was already starting to see it. So there is 2 coats of DJ Blew My Mind. So the next polish is called Let the Beat Drop, and this is a neon pink and orange hex glitter mix. Here is Let the Beat Drop. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better now. This one is a little bit base heavy. It takes a little bit of manipulation to get the glitter in the right spot, but it's not bad. I did put this over white because you can tell just slightly that the base is a little bit tinted pink from the glitter. I think the glitter's just bled into it. So there is Let the Beat Drop. So the next polish is called I really don't want to say this. It's called Can I Get a Untz, Untz? And this one is a light and dark green matte neon glitter with purple neon glitter as well. This is kind of a mix of the transparent neon glitters that need to be layered over white to pop and the more opaque ones that can be put over black. The previous glitter was the same, and I do believe the next one is the same as well. So here is Can I Get an Untz, Untz? So what I thought were dark green glitters actually are dark blue. They're just transparent, so you can't tell until you layer them over a white or a lighter color. The base on this one is slightly, just slightly green tinted from the glitter. I do believe it's from the glitter bleeding into the base, so that might get darker or more tinted as the polish gets older. So there is Can I Get an Untz, Untz? And I truly believe that having to say that out loud is the worst part of doing live swatches instead of just blog posts, because you actually have to say everything. And the last polish is called Point Me to the Party, and this is a rainbow neon glitter mix. This is a mix of opaque neon glitters that can go over black and sheer neon glitters that need to be put over a white in order to show up. So here is Point Me to the Party. This one has a pretty good glitter payoff. The base does look like it is slightly pink tinted. I don't know if that's going to pick up on camera, but like I said, with the other one, that's something that might get worse over time if it is the result of bleeding glitter. This one is a little tiny bit base heavy like the others, but it doesn't take too much manipulation to get the glitter where you want. And because all the glitters are relatively small, you don't have to fish for anything, and that goes for all of the glitters in this collection. So there is Point Me to the Party. I wanted to do a quick little overview here of my thoughts on the collection. I know I've had a couple people ask me to do that. So my least favorite in this collection is Daisy Know My Name. This, without a white base, was 3 to 4 coats to be completely opaque, and I just have better neon yellows from China Glaze even, so I don't think that this one is necessary. My absolute favorites from this collection are To Rave and Treble Maker. To Rave is an amazing, insane neon coral shade that is a perfect cream and actually only needs 2 coats to be opaque with no white base. And I'm a sucker for blues and greens, so that's where my love of Treble Maker comes. I also really like Point Me to the Party because I am really excited to see mainstream polishes kind of pull inspiration from indie brands. Overall, I think this is an absolutely fantastic collection. The formulas are amazing. I was very, very disappointed with the spring collection from China Glaze, and this has just completely like wiped the spring collection out of my mind, made up for those terrible formulas. This is fantastic. One thing I wanted to say, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is linked down below. I will update you on this. I have a theory on these. The creams are so fantastic and just the right consistency. I think that these might water marble as well as the Pipe Dream Polish Night in Vegas collection. So I'm gonna test that out. I will keep you guys updated on that on Instagram, because if they do, then it is an amazing alternative to those ones until you can get your hands on those. The colors aren't the same, but you can still get bright neon water marbles, I'm hoping. So I'm gonna try that out, and like I said, follow me on Instagram and I'll keep you guys updated on that. So that is the China Glaze Summer 2015 Electric Nights collection. Like I said, I will link below where I got these. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.